You woke up this morning. You brushed your teeth. You maybe grabbed a coffee. And before you even left your house, you spent money. Not at a store. Not on anything you chose today. It just happened. Automatically. Silently. Like a ghost reaching into your wallet while you slept. Netflix. Spotify. Adobe. Your gym. Your meal kit. Your password manager. Your cloud storage. Your premium news site you haven't read since 2022. Now here's the terrifying part. Most people have no idea how much they are actually paying. A 2022 study found the average American underestimates their monthly subscription spending by almost $200. $200. That's not a rounding error. That's a psychological exploit, and it was designed that way. Today, we're going to talk about how subscriptions became the most brilliant and most sinister business model ever invented, and why almost every company on earth is desperately trying to turn you into a subscriber. Subscriptions aren't new. Like, at all. Back in the 1600s, book publishers figured out something clever. Instead of selling one book at a time, they'd let customers pay upfront for a whole series, before the books were even written. Guaranteed revenue. Guaranteed audience. Then came newspapers. Then magazines. Then your local milkman, who showed up every Tuesday whether you wanted him to or not. But for most of history, subscriptions were niche. A convenience, not a strategy. Then something happened in 2007 that changed everything. Netflix, a little DVD by mail company, decided to try streaming. They had maybe 7 million subscribers. Wall Street thought it was cute. Then they switched their entire business to a monthly fee model, and something clicked. Revenue became predictable. Churn became measurable. And investors, they lost their minds. In the best way. Because here's what Wall Street loves more than profit: reliable profit. A company that makes $10 million unpredictably is worth less than one that makes $8 million like clockwork every single month. That was the moment the entire corporate world looked at Netflix and said, we need to do what they are doing. Okay, so subscriptions spread. Fine. That's just business, right? Here's where it gets dark. The subscription model doesn't just change how companies charge you. It fundamentally changes how companies think about you. In a normal transaction, a company's goal is simple: make a product good enough that you buy it. Done. In a subscription model, the game is completely different. The goal isn't to make you buy. It's to make you forget to cancel. Let me say that again. A massive portion of subscription revenue comes from people who are no longer actively using the product, but haven't gotten around to stopping the charge. There's even a term for it in the industry: passive churn prevention, which is the nicest possible way of saying we make it annoying to leave so you don't bother. Think about the last time you tried to cancel something. Did you have to navigate 3 menus to find the cancel button? Sit through "Are you sure?" guilt trip page? Talk to a retention specialist whose entire job is to make you feel bad? Wait 30 days for the cancellation to actually take effect? That's not an accident. Every one of those friction points was A/B tested, optimized, and deliberately placed to reduce what companies call involuntary churn. They know exactly what they are doing. And it gets more sinister. Subscription companies are obsessed with something called the pain of paying. Research by behavioral economists shows that handing over cash hurts. It activates the same parts of the brain associated with physical pain. But automatic billing, invisible billing, that pain is almost completely numbed. You don't feel the money leaving, so you don't react to it. This is why your gym membership feels free even though it costs you $50 a month. You set it and forgot it. The money's gone before you even think about it. Adobe understood this perfectly. In 2012, they made a decision that their customers hated. They killed one-time software purchases and moved everything to a monthly subscription. People were furious. Photographers, designers, filmmakers, everyone complained. Adobe's stock went up 700% in the next 5 years. Once the money people figured out that subscriptions equals Wall Street love, every industry decided they needed in. And I mean every industry. Software, obviously. But then, cars. BMW tried to charge a subscription for heated seats. Seats that were already physically installed in the car. The hardware was there. The warmth was possible. They just put it behind a paywall. $18 a month to heat your own butt. People revolted. BMW backed off. But the attempt tells you everything about where this is heading. John Deere, the tractor company, has been fighting farmers in court over the right to repair their own equipment, partly because the software that runs modern tractors is subscription-locked. A farmer in Iowa can't fix a broken tractor during harvest season without a dealer technician unlocking it remotely. Peloton sold you a $2,000 bike and then required a monthly subscription to access the classes that made the bike worth buying. Amazon is charging for faster delivery on a service you already pay for. We are approaching a world where you own nothing. You access everything, and every single access point has a recurring charge attached to it. This isn't conspiracy theory. This is the stated business goal of every major tech company. Microsoft calls it software as a service. Adobe calls it the Creative Cloud. Apple calls it the services segment, which is now their fastest growing revenue stream, making more money than the Mac, iPad, and wearables combined. They don't want you to buy things anymore. They want you on the hook. Forever. Okay, I've been painting a pretty villainous picture here, and honestly, it holds up. But let's be fair for a second, because subscriptions aren't purely evil. Spotify. Pre-Spotify, if you wanted to listen to music legally, you bought albums. An album cost $15. An artist released maybe one a year. If you liked 10 artists, that's $150 minimum, and you still only own those specific records. For $10 a month, Spotify gave you access to 100 million songs. That is, objectively, insane value. The subscription model allowed small software tools to actually survive. Indie developers who once had to charge $300 upfront, which scared off most customers, can now charge $10 per month and build a sustainable business. You can try it for less risk. They can keep updating it without launching version 2.0 and begging you to buy again. For certain things, subscriptions genuinely work better for everyone. The problem isn't the model itself. The problem is what happens when the model becomes the default for everything, including things that never needed it. When every service is a subscription, subscription fatigue sets in. People start cutting. In fact, research from 2023 shows that the majority of consumers are actively trying to reduce their subscription count. The backlash has started, and companies are starting to feel it. Streaming services are losing subscribers. People are sharing passwords. Cancellation rates are climbing. The model has an Achilles heel. It only works if the customer stays. The moment the product stops being worth it, the monthly reminder shows up and says, "Hey, do you actually want this?" So what do you actually do? First, the audit. Go to your bank statement right now and filter for recurring charges. Every single one. Write them down. Add them up. I'll wait. Shocking, right? Here's the system. 3 columns. Love IT. I use it constantly. I'd miss it immediately. Worth every cent. Like IT. I use it sometimes. Nice to have. Ghost. I forgot this existed. Anything in the ghost column. Cancel it today. Not tomorrow. Today. Because it'll still be in the I'll do it later pile in 3 months. Anything in the like IT column. Ask yourself, is there a cheaper tier? A free alternative? Can I share it with someone? Can I do a 3-month cancel and restart if I miss it? Second, fight friction with friction. When you sign up for a new subscription, set a calendar reminder for 1 day before the first renewal. Force your future self to make an active choice instead of a passive one. Third, the credit card trick. Use a virtual card number for subscriptions. Many banks and apps offer these. When you want to cancel and they make it hard, just delete the card. No CAD, no charge. Brutal. Effective. And finally, understand what you're actually paying for. Not what the company says you're paying for. The real question is, if this disappeared tomorrow, would you rebuild it? If the answer is no, it should probably go. Here's the thing about subscriptions. They are not inherently evil. Fire isn't evil. But fire in the wrong hands burns everything down. The subscription model is one of the most powerful economic innovations of the last 50 years. It's funded incredible products, kept companies alive, and genuinely given consumers access to things they couldn't have afforded before. But it's also been weaponized. turned into a machine for extracting money from people's inertia, their forgetfulness, their reluctance to deal with a 20-minute cancellation process. The companies know exactly what they are doing. Now you do too. The average person who audits their subscriptions cancels 3 to 5 of them within a week. That's real money. Hundreds of dollars a year back in your pocket. So go do the audit. Fight back. And the next time a company pitches you on just $4.99 a month, do the math. Ask yourself who's really getting the better deal here. It's them. Almost always, it's them. If this video saved you any money, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.